2016, no need for an intro. We in here. Let's go. Hype. That's all you really need to know. Good movie, absolutely. Hype, hype, hype. Epitomize hype. Almost a perfect movie. Almost a perfect movie. It does not get much better for DC than this movie. And what is this movie? Is Justice League War. Number one, when you put a title like that, ladies and gentlemen, understand the importance of titles. Okay, titles should do one of, if not all of these things. These three things. So I got three fingers, right? Number one, symbolize. Number two, provide a template. And number three, indicate something in depth. Now you might say, well, symbolizing is something. No, symbolizing, indicates something else entirely, or it links something together. Okay, but telling something in depth, an in-depth meaning, something about life, things of that nature. This movie does all three of those. Okay, it symbolizes who the Justice League are. And I say are rather than is because of the collective. In bringing all these independent, individual entities together. And it's not just, we're just going to protect the world. No. We're going to work together because we recognize that no one alone can take down some of these forces that exist out in the universe. Collective of, if you've ever worked, in years to come is a deeper meaning. The true essence of what teamwork is. You become family. The best teams become family. You hear that in sports. You hear that in the military. You hear that in occupations, various occupations. The best teams become family. When you're in those trenches, when you're in the deepest, darkest parts, and it doesn't, sometimes you become family in a relative short amount of time. I remember, just for example, you got the show Survivor. They're thrown these complete 20, 18, or how many ever different strangers. Some of them become really tight. And they continue bonds after the show. Why? Because when you're thrown in those kind of dire situations, you got no choice but to rely on another person. And if the bond goes deep enough and you learn about that individual on an intimate level, you develop those bonds of friendship and eventually family, or in some cases maybe marriage. You take that and that cultivation is just something beautiful, and it shows what humanity at its highest can be. So there's the deep meaning, and what else? Indicates. Let's see. I said symbolizes, meaning pretty much an indication or a template. Excuse me, template. It was war. Yes, it was. Absolutely. It was the Justice League, and it was war, and it was an origin story to the Justice League. But it did it on a phenomenal, not dragged out. Nope. It highlighted the characters. Okay. It dealt with all of that. So the title alone, first of all, it's popping. Come on, it's war, and it's the Justice League. You put those two together, and that also sets up for great expectation. Great expectations, high risk, high reward. Okay. And it rewarded for the high risk. Because if this movie would have butchered it, I would have been blasted. I would have been blasting this movie. Absolutely. Now, with that being said, animation. I'll just start on animation. Animation couldn't have been better. You don't get better. It was the son of Batman. And I just did that video, movie review, excuse me, right before this one. And it may be I'll put it in the description box below. It was the son of Batman and then some. Son of Batman already had on point animation. The flow was good and whatnot. This animation, my goodness, so vibrant. It was like I was watching a pure, almost like $100 million budget. The animation was that damn good. The flow, I mentioned the flow, it just flowed seamlessly. And you're watching this, and it's like, and it wasn't all just action. It the realistic, the the relatable, the characters, the dialogue, everything alongside was popping. It just enhanced the visuals. Or you could say, sometimes the visuals enhanced it. This one day enhanced the visuals. Or you could say both ways. It just kind of symbiotically everything went together. The music, everything, the sounds, the sound effects, everything about this movie was so well constructed in such a concise manner, it didn't feel concise. That's the best of movies. It should be concise, but it doesn't feel concise. It makes you want to watch another movie. It makes you want to find out more about these dudes and who else may join the Justice League. What other heroes are out there? Who we want to know more about Superman Kal-El. We want to know more about Batman Bruce Wayne, Wonder Woman Diana, Green Lantern Hal Jordan, The Flash Barry Allen. There was no Adam in this movie. They said Shazam, really Captain Marvel, Billy, forget his last name, freaking Cyborg, Victory Stone. Learn about more about his name in this one. So they portrayed the characters so well. Oh my goodness, Superman was Superman. One of the best incarnations of Superman I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of stuff, and I've seen a lot of crap. Let me put that way. And there's stuff I haven't watched because I knew it would be trashy. Superman, confident as hell. Understand? There ain't no Boy Scout bull. There ain't no Boy Scout BS around here. Confident. Okay? Freaking going forward. He going to destroy. He going in there. He going in there hard. He's going in there to overpower. He's going to use his ridiculous strength, his physical prowess, his physical capabilities. I love the fact that these were already established, but not too far in their careers. Makes sense. Okay, made a lot of sense. Superman saying, "Yo," Superman and Batman, "Yo, this is my turf." I love that whole turf action. They know, the fact that Batman didn't actually know Superman or know Green Lantern. Freaking Green Lantern come in, I'm the protector and everything. Even though this Green Lantern, it was kind of interesting how his personality in the Flash kind of, depending on which version of Barry Allen you want to use, kind of switch. But it was really cool, their interaction. They were buddy already. So we already had that connection between Flash and Green Lantern. Green Lantern learning how to be a leader. Green Lantern not already this dude, which was really cool. Batman being Bruce Wayne being Bruce Wayne. Batman being Batman. Freaking going in there, doing the dirty stuff. Being the strategist, the fighting genius that he is. And going undercover, we see the detective work, keeping up with these super-powered, ridiculously OP dudes. And he did a line. It reminded me of series One Piece. Y'all know I rock with One Piece if you know my channel. It reminded me of Nami talking to Usopp in the Alabasta arc. And Bruce is talking to Hal, and he's like, "Yo, we're amongst these godlike figures, these demigod-like figures. We're normal. Yeah, you got this powerful ring that allows you to do this, but we're just two normal dudes." If you really think about it, Superman, I mean, come on. This dude, I'll get more towards the end of the movie where it was stated by Diana, which is phenomenal, by the way. Superman, just this dude. He's this alien with all this natural, ridiculously OP abilities, right? Then you got freaking Flash, fastest man alive. I mean, come on, what more needs to be said? This dude blazes. This dude can break, the time barrier. Seriously, can run faster than light. Then you have, let's see, Diana. She's almost as powerful as Superman, and she's an Amazonian and ridiculous warrior. Okay. Then you have doggone Cyborg. He was a regular guy, but now he's this suit of armor. And I'll get more on Cyborg and really what the phenomenal job they did there in explaining how he became who he was and why his tech is so ridiculous. Cyborg, he's this war machine. No disrespect to, James Rhodes, we talking Marvel Universe, but literally, he was developed like, he's ridiculous. ridiculous. And it's all this cyber technological stuff. It's crazy. Then you got the whole Shazam, Captain Marvel action, and freaking lightning, magic, and all that jazz. So Batman had a point. That was well done. His interaction, they probably had the most dialogue. You know, they start off, but they really did. You know, they held it down with the dialogue. And then, you know, how Jordan took it, that was funny. You freaking Barry Allen, oh my goodness, holding it down, showing why Barry Allen is one of the all-time greatest heroes. It just, Barry Allen, when he comes in, he just is so well done as a character. He's so well characterized. He's got his head on. He's constantly thinking. You know, he'll crack some jokes and stuff. He'll have his own persona. But when it comes down to business, he knows what to do, when to do it. He's always coming up with things. He thinks quickly. Yes, his mind thinks quickly, but he's also coming up with out-of-the-box kind of ways. It makes sense because while he is the fastest, you got to be creative with your speed. Like him and Hal Jordan, I guess it makes sense that Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, and Barry Allen are so cool because cool together. I'm talking about they chill because they both got to be very creative with their abilities. Hal Jordan because of the whole will factor, and Barry Allen how to use his speed. Yeah, you run fast, and what else can you do? So you got speed. How do you utilize your speed? You feel what I'm saying? Diana, her character, oh my gosh, she was funny. This is the funniest time. I always love Wonder Woman, okay? Many folks have loved Wonder Woman. I've done a video about her. She was also amongst my top 10 favorite female characters of all time. And Diana was so well done in this movie. You can see she was still relatively fresh from Themyscira and her homeland. They had her as an ambassador. She came in there with the blade, and she was just so beastly. She was so well done. But the way she did with that little girl, that scene, I remember saying something on Facebook, and or no, I said something. Was it about this movie or something? And then a dude or something else, I forget. It was maybe another related post, and the dude talked about this scene, this thing about the ice cream. That was so great, you know. You should be praised for this confectionery item. It was funny. Her relationship with the little girl, you know, the whole power. Yeah, I feel powerful in it too. You know, kind of clown the dude for the cross-dress, but made him feel good. You know, she intercedes for both men and women. And again, I've said it before. Wonder Woman embodies, you know, this feminist nonsense. This modern feminist nonsense. Excuse me. She just embodies equality. Men and women can look up to her. You know what I'm saying? She you could say does masculine things, but she's very feminine. Okay, there's a lot about her. She's a woman through and through, but you know, you don't think of her, oh, that's a woman. You think, yo, she's just a dope character. So that's very well done. The struggle with Cyborg. Oh, Cyborg and his father, how he became Cyborg. I love it was the apocalyptic technology apocalypse being homeworld of Darkseid. That was so well done. It made sense because I always wonder, it's like, yo, how does, you know, he have all this cyber tech? Is he a genius, whatever? The fact is, he was a teenager. He was, you know, he was athletic and everything, and it kind of fused with him. But you know, he didn't become that monster. He thinks he's a monster, but he's not really a monster. He has an admirer, and in his he has a relationship with Captain Marvel, which is, I'm gonna keep calling him Captain Marvel. Screw the Shazam nonsense. Screw New 52. Their relationship's really cool, and I was like, who the boy is, and then Shazam, and then we see, I'm like, oh, they brought him in there. Let's go, because Captain Marvel should be brought up in that piece. You know, his immaturity, but he's being thrown into an adult world, so you had that kind of theme going on there. Cyborg had his own themes with his father and being accepted, and you know, interests and everything else, and his father being obsessed in his work, so they threw all that in there. They really did hit a lot of points about a lot of things about society, really. And Darkseid always is like, yo, why is Darkseid considered so, you know, I know he's got the old mega beams, but I mean, Superman can go heads up with him, right? This dude, Darkseid, was OP, and I loved it. He wasn't. See, he's the leader. Like he's the sole god, ruler, the sovereign of Apocalypse. Now you have, if you have New Genesis with their gods. Okay, first of all, this dude was a titan. This dude was like an Olympian god. This dude was huge, like a Norse god. This dude was huge. And look, some of these dudes on the Justice League aren't small. This dude was huge. And he was a tank. It took all of them to beat this dude. This dude was about, that invasion was on point. And he personally said, I'm coming down there and taking care of business. Screw what you mean? And it's almost like they got more powerful as the battles progressed, which is really cool. Again, it's a condensed environment with the movie. It would have been several episodes or whatever of the show. But yeah, Darkseid. In Darkseid, his whole character was just phenomenal. It was so well portrayed. I'm not coming in here to play games. I'm coming in here to take things out. I'm coming in here to take over, period. But he was OP, but he wasn't ridiculously like, come in, casually can destroy your planet kind of jump. No. He was coming in conquest, which made sense. Okay, so, again, this is earlier on. This isn't way down the line where dudes have gotten so ridiculously more powerful. This is still relatively early on. This is still relatively where they could fight him. Superman couldn't tussle with a one-on-one necessarily. He needed some help, which was cool. It made sense. It made a lot of sense with this. Anything else really to hit on? The story, I mean, it was a very simple storyline, invasion. It was an invasion. Things set up, they were trying to learn it and learn everything about it. Some may say a plot device with having Cyborg, but again, I mean, it helped establish who Cyborg was as a character. So plot devices are not inherently bad. It is how they are used. So that was good. And it actually explained why they were able to get rid of him. He opened up the gate and they had to put in that work to get rid of him. They couldn't defeat him. That's another point. This dude was so OP, they could not defeat him. Yeah, they blinded him, but they couldn't defeat him. And they killed Homeboy, who's always a problem. The one scientist on Apocalypse. So that was good. That just so many things just done right. Really, what was the flaw? There were some minor flaws you could say in the movie. You had to take a few things for granted. I mentioned, the Cyborg, conveniently gets Apocalypse technology. It makes sense because the study, but it was convenient. It was good to see, but, how Jordan and Flash already knew. How did they know? Central City, they had a connection. It was gonna go, but then how come Batman didn't know other dudes? It begs a few questions there. Diana was already there. She already had an establishing. She was going to DC. She was already there to defend. But apparently they were all across the globe. But then how they, so you had to take a few things for granted and let some stuff slide, which is okay. Okay, overall, that's not too bad. But overall, what is the grade of this movie? It is an amazing 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely, almost to my highest degree, recommend this movie. Especially if you are a fan of DC. I remember doing a post about it. You got to watch this, man. You really should watch this movie. It just does so many things well. And yeah, I know it came out a few years ago. I don't care. If you ain't seen it, watch it. Okay, and even if you're just looking for a good movie to watch, this is a good movie to watch. It's a good introduction to a lot of characters, a lot of very important and pivotal characters. Cyborg getting the love that he deserves. Captain Marvel, about to say Captain America, she's wrong universe. Captain Marvel getting the love he deserves. Superman not being portrayed ridiculously, and so many other factors. So, Unexpected One, like, subscribe to me. Your thoughts on the movie? If you haven't watched it, again, totally recommend go watching it. And alright, y'all, have a beautiful day, beautiful night. Peace. Till next time.